Hear him out.
Welcome to the show, Jett. So I just want to ask, what have you been up to lately? How are you? It's been so long.
What's up? Okay naman. Usual COVID pandemic stuff. Work. Yeah, just chilling lang naman.
What have you been working on?
Recently, just focusing on my business. That's probably the only thing that I can be doing right now. Family time. You have to sneak in a little bit of girlfriend time, or else. Tapos, yun lang. Trying to be positive amidst everything that's happening. So, that's basically me every day. I think the biggest change was the lack of social interaction with like your friends and things that you want to do, like travel, go out, probably have a cup of coffee. So in some coffee shop, yeah, that's kind of hard. But I try to find like reasons not to complain. I think my situation's better than most, and I pray for those someone that are having it hard right now.
So you still get the exercise even now, like at home?
Yeah, dude, that's probably what I've been doing, or like getting back into the most. I try to take a more serious approach to my health and wellness because
Oh.
dude, because it's hard. It's so easy to like lie down and watch
Yeah.
Netflix. I
Oh
mean,
my
I
god.
did for like a month maybe during the pandemic, but I slowly got back into lifting almost every day.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
I'm happy naman, yeah. I mean, I'm happy that I have a gym set up at home for me and my family. I wanted to invest in that. My equipment's from one of your previous guests, Justin Ze. Yeah, he's my
Oh.
friend. He's my friend talaga. So, and then, yun. So, I'm really, trying to get back into my pro body state, but it's harder than it.
Oh.
It's a lot harder now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so speaking of basketball and everything, so you're following the same program that you did before.
Hindi na. Alam mo naman, Nins, because you study it, iba yung focus pag athletic
Yeah.
training. And, honestly, I'm just trying to get pogi weights. So, I'm trying.
Oh my
It's something I
god.
could never do before. So now, so
Oh my
I'm
god.
feeling a beach body. Ganyan.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like pogi weights is so different from like weights if you're focusing on like if you want to increase your jump height, diba?
Yeah, ganun. Plyo, ganyan. Wala na. Wala nang plyo-plyo dito. Ano na
Pogi
lang,
weights all the way.
abs na lang. Where's my abs? Where's my biceps? Mga ganun na lang.
Oh my gosh. You really could, as in like even from, diba? So you were from Xavier and then UP. Sorry, like pogi weights. No, that's not the
Yeah,
focus.
you can't talaga. So, Savior, I didn't really lift that much. It wasn't a thing before.
Ah.
But in UP, I don't know how to say it. During my time in UP, the quality of the gym equipment was very questionable. So ganun na, let's just put it there. I mean, UP
I
students
no,
now. I love UP.
I love UP, but I get that. Like,
Uh,
I understand. It's very questionable.
so that's the best way to put it. But
Yes.
now, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's different training for athletics and training for just my body.
So, speaking of UP, are there any special standout moments that you've had, like, that really had an impact on you?
It's hard to pinpoint one, but I think the most memorable year for me was my first year and my last. So you were involved naman. You were part of the last year. But the first year, but because it was like more of a shock, or I was like placed in reality on what college basketball was about, what the status of UP was at that time. So it was a 0-14 season. I was young, so I was like very idealistic on playing college ball, winning a championship and stuff like that. But I realized hard how difficult it could be. So that 0-14 season was really like a life changer for me, and the things they changed my goals and my mentality and everything. And then fast forward to the last year, it was my most memorable because we at that point in time, shout out to UP right now, but at that point in time That was, I think, the most wins that we've had in like a decade or something like that. I felt like I played pretty well, and I think the support and the community was starting to come back. And I think every game, seeing the crowd get bigger until my last, and fighting for a Final Four slot and stuff like that. That was like in the past, but I think that was the most memorable time in my college life.
You said you played pretty well, but you have to give yourself some credit. Okay, because like I remember watching you in your last year, and as in the leadership you had, like you have to give yourself credit for that because you did way more than just like basketball. Like you really inspired the team. Like I remember, like everyone's down, and then you're just like, "No, let's go, let's go." As in, like I'm just like, why is this dude so positive? How the? But like, so you have to give yourself credit. Now you didn't just play well; you played really great. And I'm not just saying that because you're no, I won't say it. You're not. No, no, no. Big brother, ayan.
Mm-hmm.
He said because I can't say it on the show. Like to everyone who might be listening, I can't call him the big brother in Fukien, so
Oh,
I can't say that.
not that old.
No, he's not. He's not.
Yeah, I'm not.
So ayan, so there were really ups and downs throughout the course of your whole UP career. You said nga 0-14 up to like it was a legendary year for me, like your last year because so many things happened, like beating Ateneo. I remember, I think, diba you guys went up against FEU and then in the first quarter it was like 28-8. I don't
Yeah,
know if
something
you
like that.
remember that. But as in, super galing talaga. So, I just want to ask how you were able to stay ready and motivated for every game. And then it's like enough motivation for everyone else rin in the team. How are you able to do that?
I think I was blessed then with a group of teammates, friends. I'd consider them younger brothers with me at that time, the coaching staff. I think things just lined up into place. And at that point in time, Coach Bo was there. It was his first year. And then the management was slowly picking up the support. And then, my teammates. I think the biggest credit I'll give is, as to my teammates because they actually listened to me. They somewhat, listened to what I had to say and try and followed it naman. So, yun, I think I got lucky in a sense that these guys were trying to help me or aligned with me in the goal that I wanted to accomplish for UP, of course. So, to stay motivated, stay ready. It's just the same as any other team. We practiced hard, we played hard, we tried to have each other's backs and all that stuff. That's what I loved about sports, UP basketball. Yeah, so it was nice. It's nice to reminisce a bit. The status of UP now is crazy,
Yeah.
and yeah. So it's thinking about or comparing it from before to now. It's completely like different.
Yeah.
So
Like what?
support na lang. So parang support na lang tayo.
Yeah, but of course, everyone remembers you, eh. Like, literally up to now. Like, I remember talaga that year, everyone was like, whoa, UP starting to, like, wake up and everything.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fun time. It's a fun time for us.
So, you also went to the US, right? So, was it more for basketball or, like, for your studies?
Oh, during that time, I played my first 3 years straight. So
Mm-hmm.
first, second, third, and then the year after. So fourth and fifth year ko in college. Parang, actually the fourth year, I was talking to a lot of people. I really got a lot of input. And then was talking to my dad. Parang an opportunity came up where I could train in the States for half a year. So it was syempre, it's a big decision. I had to take a leave from my studies, which was, of course, number one priority for me. I had to take a leave and try to look at that opportunity to better myself for, honestly, better myself for UP. So
Oh.
parang the status of the team, excuse me, at that time was not too good. We lost our coach that year. A new coach was coming in. The management wasn't really stable. So I was like, probably take this opportunity na lang to focus on myself more. So I went to the States. I went to Indiana, and then for 2.5 months, and then I went to Las Vegas for 2.5 months by myself, and then tried to connect with the trainers that were parang connected or like referred to me, and then just train my ass off. It was hard, man. Oh my god, it was so hard. That time there was really hard, yeah. And I matured a bit. I'm a 20-year-old in Las Vegas. I'm a 20-year-old Filipino kid alone in in
Oh
that
my god,
city. So
alone,
yeah,
alone.
can you imagine how different it was?
Yeah.
But I gotta give credit to my dad. He's very smart that he brought me there when I was 20, not 21. So it would have changed a lot of things.
Really? 20 versus 21? Oh my god. Oh nga, the drinking
21 is
age
the
in the
legal age.
US.
Yeah, it's a joke that I have with my dad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so yun.
Ang galing though. I mean, I keep forgetting that you were there alone, but you were doing this for UP eh. Like,
Yeah, yeah. If I get better, then
yeah,
I'll
it's
get better for UP.
grabe. So like, how are these years in UP and like these years in UP, including the years in the US, how did that prepare you for the PBA or GILAS or like the future and everything?
Well, that year I think was a kicker year. I think I mean that year pertaining to the year where I trained in the States
Mm-hmm.
got me a lot better. I was more confident in myself and what I could do. When I came back to play for UP, felt like I was a much better player. And then, fast forwarding to after my last year, syempre, I was looking at the PBA na.
Oh.
Then I got a call for Gilas at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, syempre, who will not, di ba? Who would not take that opportunity?
Oo.
And yeah, if you to answer your question, it prepared me in that way. Na I think my skills got better. I knew how to train. I knew what to do. I knew how to think. I think the biggest thing was the discipline and siguro my maturity because I was alone there. But that was a big boost for me to get to Gilas.
So when you started basketball, was it really like your goal to head to the PBA?
Interestingly, no. When I entered college and I went to UP because of, as cliche as it is, I went to UP for the academics. I wanted to take up civil engineering. So, of course, I would say the best civil engineering program in the country is, in UP. So I wanted to
Mm.
get into that. And then I didn't focus on the PBA. The biggest basketball goal that I had was really for Gilas. I wanted to know what it felt like to represent the country playing basketball. So that was really my goal. I didn't look at the PBA at that time. I didn't even see myself playing professional basketball because I was thinking na, yun nga, after college, I'll move on. I'll get a job maybe, study abroad, or see what other opportunities, run a business, mga ganon.
Yeah.
So I really didn't visualize myself playing the PBA. So it's funny that it happened.
Oh my gosh, but so if that wasn't really your goal, so what were your feelings with the PBA draft and like what made you decide to turn pro?
I think it's just opportunities at that time. I'm not a big fan kasi of plotting out your life step by step. Like at this age, like I'm not gonna say my age. So I'm 27 years old, diba? Or during college, I was I was 19, 20s, diba? Parang I'm not a fan of saying na, okay, by this age, I'm doing this. By this age, I'm this. By this age, I'm this. Parang for me, it's not possible. You know, things change, your dreams change, your passions evolve. So
Mhm.
that's why I was like, parang just playing it, one step at a time, depending on how things turn out. So when I graduated, people were telling me that I should try or go because I think some teams were interested in me.
Mhm.
I played in Gilas. That was my goal talaga. So I took that. And then after that experience, I think I played pretty well naman.
Yeah.
Yun, parang people were heavily telling me na apply for the draft. So, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to regret this in the future. I weighed my options. I was like, sige, I'll take this path na lang. I want to see how far I go with basketball. I love the game. And then boom, draft night.
What did you expect you were gonna be like 12th overall pick? Diba you were 12th overall
Yeah,
pick
12.
that
Yeah.
time? Grabe, did you expect that?
Weirdly, parang, I don't know. It's hard to say. Kasi at that time, there are a lot of, yung mga mock draft, really get in your head. There's like, oh, what's this? You're projected to be top 10 pick, or you're projected to be part of this team's gonna get you, ganyan, or first round. But during that night, it's a totally different experience. It's like you're sitting there and you really don't know. Like, no matter what people say, if you're not the top five, siguro, top four picks, you don't know where you're going. when the 10th, 11th, 8, 9, 10, ganon, picks came, and then, sabi ko 12, Ginebra ng pipick, sabi ko. I was texting my dad pa, I was like, this is possible. I don't think Ginebra's gonna get me. So, I'm gonna be in the second round. I'm like, oh, sayang. First round sana, iba yung dating. Ganyan. And then,
Ayun, first round.
oh, I was like, what the hell? It's like, what's happening? Ganon. So, it's just funny. It was funny experience. But I appreciated everything. Things didn't turn out the way I'd hoped for, but I was super blessed. Na I was picked at that point, and then the team. Yeah, so crazy, crazy.
Yeah, that's you didn't expect it, but it's grabe. My God. And it's just wild because like you just alam mo yun, you just tried it. Like, okay, let's try to do it. And then like you focused on that. And then you were able to get 12th overall pick. Wala lang, ang galing.
No, but don't get me wrong. It's not like I just applied and then tried. No, I there's a draft combine.
Yeah.
So I trained every day at 6 a.m. with Coach Joe Ward. Grabe yun. For
Oh my
mga 4 months. Oh, every single day at 6 a.m. And then I train again in the afternoon. I prepared. I killed myself for that.
Okay, I didn't know that. Like you trained like twice a day for grabe.
And I was studying for boards pa. Oh my
Yeah.
god, my brain. So it was challenging, but I think it's just my personality. Like when I knew how much work I needed to put, there's so many players that are sobrang galing that are applying. So I think it's just what, if I'm gonna do this, all out na ako. I don't wanna have any regrets thinking na I didn't train hard enough. Ganyan. If I didn't get picked, but I knew I trained hard enough, then I would be fine walking away.
That mindset though. Okay, so we know how stacked like Ginebra is. And Coach Tim Cohn, for me, like he's one of the best coaches in the league. So he isn't really known to play rookies that much. So how did you try to like crack the rotation or how did you try to stand out in front of him?
You see, it's different na eh. It was different for college and basketball, college and pro, the PBA. It's not the same parang dynamic. So you're a professional already.
Mhm.
So you treat it as a professional job. So you just have to come in and work every day. There's no shortcut to showing na Coach Tim, ako, play me, ganyan. No, you just show why you were drafted. So they got me because of this, this, and this. So I worked every day showing that I'm a professional that can give you what you drafted me for. Gets ba? Parang
Yeah.
ganon.
Yeah.
So it's just more of being there on time or early, working as hard as I can when all the drills, understanding the plays that he needs me to understand, yung mga ganon, and
Yeah.
then gelling well with your teammates. So it's really a job. People don't understand the difference of the PBA and college. This is a job. You get
Yeah.
paid for what you were drafted to do. So
Yeah.
that's basically my mindset and what I wanted to show. So, not being played, that's really part of the game. So, I mean, I'm going home pa rin. I still get my salary.
I did not expect
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
that.
ganon. Ganon talaga. Ganon sa PBA. So, you just work as hard and try to prove na you're better, you're better, you're better. Ganon.
So like in your rookie year, pa rin, you still won the Commissioner's Cup. So how did it feel winning the championship now with Ginebra?
People might notice this is my first championship since I entered college and everything. So, I was like, oh, I finally won a championship. I'm on a team. I'm on a championship team. Iba
Oh
yung
my God.
feeling. I mean, yeah, people will say, di ka naman naglaro, ganyan, ganyan. Hey, my perspective is I train with these guys every day. So I'm
Yeah.
on a championship team right now. I'm part of the team. So
Yeah.
it was different. I didn't know how to react. I was just enjoying the moment, enjoying everything that comes with being a PBA champion. And that's something I feel like no one can take away, from me. That
Mhm.
I'm a PBA champion. I may not have been a college champion, but PBA champion. Oh,
Yeah, PBA.
oo, ganun na lang.
Okay, so there was like also a sudden announcement that you were stepping away from the PBA. So was it on your mind ever since like in your first year or you just suddenly like, okay, I think I'm gonna step away now and focus on like being an engineer and everything?
That was a tricky time in my life because I think during the I only signed for a 1 year contract with Ginebra, and
Mhm.
then during the end of it, yeah, of course I have to reevaluate and see. They offered me another contract, and then I was thinking, but at that time, will I continue to play basketball or step aside? Because I mean, this is totally like we could talk about this for a while, but it was tough for me. As
Mhm.
much as I say now I'm trying to be a professional, it was tough because I don't get to play basketball. I don't get to be put in the games. I knew naman my position, and the situation was weird. So yun, during that time, I was really reevaluating. It took me a couple of months. I was with my family the whole time. I mean, I think it was Christmas, and I was in Australia with them, with my family, and
Yeah.
during that time, it was a period of deciding. I haven't signed yet, but they offered me. I'm expired, so there are nights where I would just think deeply. Oh, what should I do? What direction do I want to take for my life moving forward?
Mhm.
Ganyan, the goals that I have. So eventually, after weighing all my options and talking to the people that support me the most, I decided to walk away na from the game. It was hard. I weighed everything, playing for other teams, playing for a different league, or playing for Ginebra, whatnot. But ultimately, I think it just aligned with who I wanted to become
Mhm.
in the future and how I wanted to move forward. And sad to say, basketball wasn't a part of it anymore, or being a professional basketball player.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and I think I decided that point na this is it na siguro for me. I'll step away na. I accomplished everything that I set out to do. I won't look back regretting that, what if I played another year, ganyan, ganyan.
Mhm.
So it was deep, man. It was really deep for
Yeah.
me. Yeah, super deep. As in, I really had a tough time thinking about parang, oh my God, ito na decision of my life. Mga ganon.
But grabe, like I was gonna ask talaga like if you have any more plans of playing, but I feel like you're really happy with the situation and with the choice that you made, no? Like
Yeah, yeah. I'm content. I think that's the word for it. I was really content with my career at that point na. So I'm still connected to the game. I still call UAP games or analysts.
yeah.
So I'm still connected. I won't let go of my love for basketball. So, but I think now it took shape in a different like form na. So, okay na. I'm happy. I'm content with that.
But when you retired, were you surprised naman by the amount of support you received from like coaches, teammates, and other PBA players?
Yeah, yeah. It's heartwarming to hear yung mga things na ganun. I didn't really, look for it. But, other coaches saying na, yun nga, I had what it takes or I could have played elsewhere. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that in myself. And then my other teammates supporting my decision. It's just good for me. But I think the main people naman, like, I give value to, like, that support me, love me, ganyan.
Mhm.
They're the voices that I really listen to. So, I mean, it's not all love. I had a lot of hatred naman for what I did. So, but hey, it's my life. So I move
Yeah.
forward.
I think what you that transition is kind of relevant now with the pandemic. I think like I mean
Mhm.
it's normal for a lot of people to want to explore career options or paths, and that's what you did. And some people are having trouble finding direction now. So what's your advice to them, like based on your experience with this?
Well, when people ask me, like, example yun, yung mga career options or what they want to do, ganyan, I always tell them na, because you hear this thing na, pursue your passion, do what you're passionate about. Ganyan. For me, it doesn't start there because I read in a book some time ago na passion isn't something that's like readily there and then you just chase after it and follow it. For me,
Yeah.
passion is something you really mold, you build, you discover, ganyan. So, if you ask me for advice, I'd say, discover, like, try to work on what you're passionate about. It may be, having a podcast, it may be or something related to the arts, to engineering, to basketball, ganyan. You have to You have to try, and then when that point comes where you decide, then go. That's when you go for it, and don't hold back. Because the number one thing I see when people say na, oh, I'm following my passion, but it's not working out, and maybe you didn't work hard enough in that passionate
Mhm.
thing, diba? Maybe you didn't do all that you needed to do to say that that's your passion. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just something that you're interested in that hasn't become something you're passionate about. Passion for me is a very, very deep word. So, that's really what I tell people who ask me for advice on that. So, yun lang talaga.
I'm so inspired for my class na later. Oh my god.
Ay, nako.
Oh, but like, okay, so was it always like a passion naman for you to open businesses? I mean, like, okay, so you had Potato Corner in college, and then you opened up a new business, diba, when you graduated and everything?
Yeah, yeah. Business I have now is a ready mix concrete business. So it's like supply for construction.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I always had that goal. I think I really envisioned myself to be an entrepreneur ever
Mhm.
since. I couldn't see myself dedicating my life to work 8 to 5 job. But it's nothing wrong with that. I respect people that do that, especially the ones that are good at it. But it just wasn't for me. I think I grew up kasi in a family of entrepreneurs. We have a family business. Both my parents, who I admire,
Mhm.
are entrepreneurs. So, and they were ultimately the ones that encouraged me to go for it. Like, example, that potato corner when I had
Mhm.
in college. I mean, first of all, I love potato corner fries.
Everyone does. Everyone does.
Yeah, so why wouldn't I want to try it? Yun. But it started me off on the right foot on how hard it is. It's
Mhm.
really hard to manage even just a small stall.
Mhm.
And then moving forward now, it's really a support from my parents managing this whole business. It's not, I mean, it's a bigger business. And I'm learning every day, and I feel like this is something that I was meant to do, or
Mhm.
something that I really wanted to end up doing. So kahit na sobra sakit na ng ulo ko, I'm in the office right now, sakit
Oh
pa
my
rin ang ulo
god.
ko. Yeah, so ganyan talaga.
Oh my
So I
god.
think that's what I mean when if you're passionate about something, you end up doing it talaga, and you really enjoy every step of it.
Okay, so I think if ever people are listening right now, okay, most people probably don't know that you're in grad school. So let's talk about like literally probably just like one sentence. Like what are you taking and what made you decide to take grad school na?
So I felt like I wasn't good enough to be a not good enough. Like I was lacking a lot of things to be a more successful entrepreneur. So I'm always a fan of learning. I think UP taught me that. So yeah, I took the step. I tried to check what programs would suit me the most and what would suit my growth the most. And then I ended up taking grad school in the school across UP. So I know I'm not gonna say the name, just joke lang. I took it in Ateneo grad school. So yun. So I think that was the main decision. I just wanted to grow myself and learn more because I felt like, I'm still young. I don't have that experience yet.
You're still young. Let's how joke lang.
Yes. Yes, I am still young. I mean, yeah.
See you in school. When on-site na yung classes.
Ateneo Law ka na pala. Good luck.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what else do you want to happen in the future when it comes, whether it be your business or basketball?
Well, for basketball, I like I said, I'm content and happy with everything that I've accomplished or done, and what basketball has done for me. So really, for the future is really the being the best entrepreneur that I can be. That's really the goal that I set out to do. I used to be very particular, like, or paano ba, materialistic with my goals. Like, oh, I wanna reach this net worth. Yung mga ganon.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, so I realized na rin na it's just so blinding to me to
Mm,
think about it that way. So now it's just being the best entrepreneur I could be. If I was better today than I was yesterday, did I learn something more than what I learned yesterday, or something about finance or operations or management, whatever?
mm.
Then I would say that I'm on the right track naman, as long as that's how I see things.
Okay, so This is what I always ask everyone at the end of the show. So, what's one thing listeners have to hear that isn't said enough?
One thing listeners have to hear that isn't said enough. Shit, that's tough, ah. I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like when it comes to your story, I think it's very important na your decision making skills, like that's very important, and how passion played a huge role in it. No.
Yeah, very much. But I think yun nga, yung support system ko really played a big part. To answer your question, what I feel like people really need to hear
Mm-hmm.
is the reality of things. Even me, it happened to me then, and it's happening naman. People have a false like idea of how things are supposed to play out, where
Yeah.
people really need to know what's happening and what's the reality of their life, their situation, ganon. So I think if they have the right people around them telling them that, then it's their life is gonna be a lot easier to go through than having false goals, ganyan, or things na dapat ganito. That's what I'm very particular about. So I think that's something that people really need to hear.
Everything actually here that you said, I feel like it's very relevant now, especially like with switching careers and everything. I think it's very
I
important.
hope so. I hope so.
You do know that you still have a lot of supporters and fans. So, any messages naman to them if they're listening now?
Well, thanks, really. I know naman the people that support me genuinely. I'm still adjusting to it. Like, until this point, even during the PBA, I couldn't believe how much people would want to support me. So, yeah, I'm really thankful. I'm really grateful. I try to give genuine feedback to them, or thanks or gratitude to them for supporting me. So, I hope, you can still support me in everything that I want to do. Yun. So, and I hope you guys are okay. Yun lang.
Okay, so are there any charities or nonprofit organizations or businesses or pages you want to plug now? Or
Wala
shout
naman.
out?
Wala pa. I'm not at that point yet. But siguro, check me out on Instagram at Jett Manuel.
Yes.
I have a Twitter, but it's not that active.
You still use Twitter now?
I use it to check every day if the world has blown up that I don't know about, or so something like that. But I'm not active on it. But Instagram, follow me, say hi, follow this podcast, and if you see Megasem concrete or Megasem trucks along the way, say hi to the drivers or something.
Okay, so that ends our show. And thank you again for taking out time to come here to this interview and everything. Super enjoyed it. Hope you did too.
Yeah, I
So,
did. Thanks for having me.
so I'm Nina, and we just interviewed Jet. This has been Hear Him Out.